So, why do so many PhD students lose passion for their research and discovery? So, I think the simplest answer is that people often get very lonely and they get bored. What you realize is that doing any sort of endeavor like this, doing research on a full-time basis, tends to be very much solo work, and it tends to be very difficult. I want to talk about that today, and I want to make sure that you are feeling good with the process. What I'm going to do is tell you a bit of my story, and then hopefully get you to believe that you can do this at any given moment. So I'm a research professor. That's my job. I sit and do research every single day. I'm Professor Dave Massack. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation. And my job is to read papers and write every day. I'm expected, based on my job, to write probably about 8 to 10 pages every single day, and I'm expected to read the literature quite broadly. And that means probably reading a couple of articles every single day. Now, clearly, the expectation of that is enormous, and I can't get to that every single day, right? I have other things that are going on. I have my kids, my family, I have many other things that are going on. So there is this pressure that's constant on top of me to perform. And it tends to be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. And on top of this, what you'll notice is that my work is almost always by myself. I work in groups often, and I have amazing colleagues, amazing coworkers, but this tends to be I meet for an hour and then I go do my own work probably for the rest of the week, and then I meet again, or maybe I meet every 3 weeks or something along those lines. And most of the work that I actually do is very solo work. I often laugh. My wife has a very different job in the medical profession, and when I call them, it is an enormous noise-making machine. There's people that are coming and going. There's lots of laughter. There's all sorts of drama that's happening. And then my world is so different compared to her world, where it's just quiet all of the time in my. So I have to figure out ways to entertain myself in various different ways, because the work that I do tends to be quite boring, that I'm just sitting there reading and writing every single day. I like writing when I get into it, but actually doing that effort is very, very challenging. And reading is almost painful for me. I've never really liked reading, but I love what happens after I actually read the work. I love the ideas that I can share and talk about after that. So the acts of doing it tends to be very boring for most people. And here is the most challenging part, is that you might put in work for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and you do all of this work and you do a great research study, but there's one little flaw in it, or one little mistake in it, or one little thing that's just off, just a little bit, when you send it for scientific review and it gets rejected. So you have all of this work that you've put into it, months and years into a research study, and then it gets rejected based on the peer review process, which you can imagine tends to be a little bit overwhelming, and there's a lot of emotion that goes on with it. Right now, I have strong emotions in my stomach about it that frankly are not pleasant in any sort of way. So you can imagine it's easy to lose passion in this kind of environment when you're doing that. I think my work is not too much different. There's maybe very large labs that exist where it's a little bit more of a commotion type thing. I know at the university that I'm at, there is a big, massive federal laboratory. It's massive, it's huge. Millions and millions of dollars, probably even tens and hundreds of millions of dollars go into this lab. And it's pretty busy. There's bustling and all that kind of stuff. So it's the work that I do is not necessarily always always representative, but it tends to be fairly representative, I think, of the scientific effort. So there's two things that I am doing to change this, and hopefully this is going to help people out to make it a lot more fun. The first thing is I'm building the reciprocity platform. So I'd encourage you to go onto it, try it out. And this platform is to gamify research. It's to make the game of what we actually do more explicit, to make it more community-based, make it more fun and encouraging so that everybody anywhere, so anybody at any stage can create a what I call a non-rejectable research paper. So something that's pretty good that follows the different steps along the way. Now, this is a work in progress. I'm continuously building it out. I've spent tens and tens of thousands of dollars on it and continue to build this thing. And I'm excited about it every day, but it's a long run play. I've been working at this for 8 years. That's why I am on all of these videos. But that, of course, is the long run play. What about the short run? What I tend to do is continuously work on the thing that's going on here. So I try to make sure that I always get exercise. I always try to make sure that I eat healthy and I detach a little bit every single day. I make sure that I am working on this complete person, because the process of what we actually go through is very, very difficult. There tends to be a lot of rejection. And I think I'm not unusual with this. So I need to work on this inside, where I continuously am saying, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to try every single day. And if you notice, the message that I continuously put out with all of these videos is not that the journey is difficult, and it's not that it is too difficult. It is that you get back up and you continuously try, no matter how hard the journey actually is. If you look at all of the videos that I've put out, all of the different messages that I've put out, it's always the same. It is the journey is difficult. It is not there to make sure that you actually succeed. It's you get up and you become your own hero in your own story. You try to remove the victim that you feel inside, which we all feel, and you try to become the hero. The world is difficult. It doesn't often want to cooperate with who you are and what's going on, but that's okay. That's what you signed up for. All of these moments in life are going to be challenging, and it's your job to get back up and do it again. It's your job to make sure that you are healthy and happy as best as you can, because it's a difficult journey. I understand that. Not everybody can do that. But at the same time, the alternative is far worse. What we need to do is realize just how beautiful the world actually is, turn that around, and then be thankful for the fact that you actually get to try at any given day. I think that's the most important lesson that I take away every day, is that the pain that you feel, the challenges that you feel, it's not necessarily the fact that that is the problem. The problem, it's actually an opportunity. The opportunity is the fact that you actually do get to experience that. The pain and all of that, and the sorrow and the loneliness and the rejection, all that kind of stuff, that's part of it. That means that you get to do something that somebody else doesn't have or they can't have. That is the opportunity, is to do something that is far more difficult than you thought you could do, but smile through it all every day and try every day, despite the fact that it doesn't feel the way that you thought it should feel when you do it. So what I'm saying is, instead of every day, my long run play is the reciprocity platform, but your short run play that you have to focus on, it's not about getting ahead or any of those kind of things and messaging that is continuously played, but it's figuring out how to fight the battle that you can get back up again every day and be happy and encouraging and do all of the wonderful things that human beings actually do. This little bit of work that we do, this little tiny bit of work that we do in our life, it's only a small part of our life. There's many other things that are going on. We have many other identities, and we have to embrace those things so that we can let everything grow. Yes, it's painful, it's difficult. I don't like to read, I don't like to write. It's lonely, all that kind of stuff. But it's the joy of actually getting to try to do this and be part of this step-by-step journey that is important. Nobody else or very few other people get that opportunity, and I embrace that. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.